Yo bestie. I literally just sat down to get some work done because your girl is actually back on lectures and her modules, and so I feel like uni has finally fully officially started. And this year I made a promise to myself to actually be ahead on lectures, because last year I had a really hard time like keeping up with doing my lectures on time, and so this year I really don't want to like let it snowball and end up with like a whole ton of lectures that need to be done by the end of the year. No, that is not going to be us this year. We are manifesting organization and productivity goals this year, and so I've literally just been sitting and also playing around with my Notion, and I realized I have also been getting a lot of questions about an updated Notion tour, since you guys already know I love to use Notion to keep my life and everything in check, organized, keep us on our A game, because otherwise I think I'd be all over the place. It is kind of like my emotional support system when it comes to everything academia, planning, tracking, organization, everything. Okay, my whole life. And I know I'm not the only one, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows Notion has us wrapped around its finger, but come on, we love it. I did film something like this last year, but I have changed quite a few bits and bobs here and there, so I thought I'd just show you guys how I like to use my Notion this year. And also, this video is kindly sponsored by Notion, which is freaking amazing because it just feels so good when you get to work with brands that you truly use every single day. Like, I don't know what I would do without my Notion, because come on, uni's hard on its own, okay? I need something to make it easy for me. Ta-da! This is my home screen, my MBBS screen. So if you don't know, I am a medical student, which is why it says MBBS here at the very top. And for those of you who did watch last year's video, this is probably very familiar because I actually haven't touched the home screen at all. Now, I love the fact that Notion is so customizable, and it's just so easy to make it look all nice and pretty. And in fact, I probably spend a lot of time on this, even though I probably shouldn't, but I still love it nevertheless. I went for the whole like green plant vibe because I feel like the color green, first of all, it's my favorite color, okay guys, and second of all, it just makes me feel so at peace and relaxed, and that is what we want when we're trying to do something hard and stressful like revision and studying. So yeah, I kept this page the same because I think this is probably the page I use the least in my whole Notion setup. Yeah, we have a cute little small steps every day quote here because we need that little extra push. And then I also have a really cute insertable widget here, which is like a little clock to tell me the time. Yes, it's 7 in the evening. Yes, I'm having my final push of like motivation to study right now. I know, very nice. And then we've got my main navigation section over here. So we've got year 1, year 2, and year 3, which is the new edition from this year. Very exciting. And then yeah, this is my quick tasks to-do list here at the very start. Now this is actually the notes that I have from my, I think it was my summer exams revision to-do list. So these are like the little bits that I had to do at the very end. So I actually need to delete that, but we're gonna keep it for now. Some more cute plants and a currently reading bit over here. So if you did not know, I am actually currently reading Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and I also have my little Kindle over here. And then another cute little widget over here, I have my Spotify playlist, which is my lo-fi study playlist. I'm pretty sure most students can agree, but for some reason lo-fi just really gets you going. There are actually so many more like widgets and cool things that you can add in. I know some people have like a Pomodoro clock for their like Notion as well, but it's just so cool that you can customize it however you want. And here we go, my year 3 Notion page. It is cute. It is quite empty because it is only the second day of uni, guys. I kept the whole green vibe again, classic Ecem, I know. And so yeah, at the very start, this is the most important thing that I have. It's my to-do list. So as you can see, I've actually already done today's lectures. So today was abdo, and so I've got all those done, and this is like the last little section of lectures that I'm gonna do today, which is actually tomorrow's lectures, because like I said, your girl wants to be ahead this year. And I have that at the very top so that I can see like bam, straight up when I go on my Notion, I know what I need to do. I also have another like clock over here because I do like to keep track of the time. And then we move on down to my modules. So I've actually added in my modules as like a gallery view, which is something that I love because then it just looks nice and pretty. And I've done them in like different shades of green. So it kind of reminds me of like, you know those paint strips that you get with like the different colors of paint? Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Last year I had a similar thing with just like different medical images, but this year I think I wanted to keep it a little bit more neutral and a little bit more basic and aesthetic, if that makes sense. And it does feel easier on my eyes because I spend so much time staring at the screen that it's just nice to have plain colors rather than like loads and loads of photos. Underneath that I have my assignment tracker. Now this is like a little database that I've actually added in, and I've done it as a table so I can jot down what my assignments are if I have any. I currently do not because because like I said, we just started. But if I was to have an assignment, I'd put that down here. And then the second column for the table is a module section, so I can actually select which module it's for. So I've got all the modules down that I have. So like clinical skills, placement, cardio, rest. And I do also love the fact that it's like color coordinated. And then the third part is progress. So this is whether or not I've actually started the assignment. So I've got not started in red, in progress orange, and done for green. Second last is deadline, so I can put down a date for when my assignment is due. And then last but not least, we have days left. Now this is actually a formula. I actually saw this on a template and I actually played around with this database and I managed to figure out the formula myself because it was quite easy, but I'll also show you guys just in case you want to do the same. So as you can see here, when you select the property for this column of the table, so for the tag you choose formula, and then for the formula you can actually edit it and make it whatever you like. This is the formula that I've used. It's actually already like one of the options that you can select from the formula thing itself, but just in case you can't find it, you can just type this in here, and once you click done, you can choose how you want it to like view and a color, and that way when you save it, you can see this days left column like so. So for example, let's say I have essay 1, my module, I'm gonna say it's cancer. I've just started it now and the deadline is in 2 weeks time. So it automatically tells you how many days I have left to do that assignment, which I think is so key, so key. That way there's less of a chance of you actually like missing out on the deadline and like not submitting it on time. So I think that's very important, especially since we can get penalized for late submissions. So I love this whole feature here. Then on the right hand side, I have a little photo of my timetable, and then underneath I've got like a calendar view for my schedule, so I can add in what I have for the day in terms of lectures or for the week, just so that I know what's going on that day. So as you can see today, I had lectures and a case-based discussion on colorectal surgery. So the module that I'm currently on is Fundamentals of Clinical Practice, and just to show you what I've done, keeping it very simple in terms of note taking this year, I just add them in as pages. So for example, today's we've got lectures over here as pages, and then CBD as a page on its own as well. And I just love doing my notes this way on Notion because I've also learnt like little keyboard shortcuts. It sounds very advanced, but it's actually really not. So for things like adding a page or going back and like doing like different titles and like highlighting, there's a shortcut for everything, which makes it so much easier and like quicker to use. It saves me so much more time when I'm typing out my notes and trying to keep up with the lecturer as well, which is why I love Notion. I will try and like type down some of my favorite like keyboard shortcuts down in the description as well for my besties, because I want to help you out and make it easier to use as well. If you can see over here, I have like a whole section for clinical skills. I've added in my timetable, my course aims, all the little bits and bobs. I've added in a link to actually take me to the page on my school website so I can access all the videos. Also, I just want to show that there's like a feature where you can refer back to other pages in other parts of your like Notion setup. What I mean by that is, if you can see, it says physical exams. Now yes, in third year we do physical exams, but it's also something we done last year, so I already had all my notes for this from last year. So I've just added in a little link back tab right here, so when I click it, it takes me back to my year 2 page. See, year 2 OSCEs. So I didn't actually have to type any of this out again. I already have everything done from my last year page. I can just refer back to really easily without having to go through year 2 and this and that. And I think I've basically showed you my whole Notion. I think you can now see why I'm so obsessed, because it has all that I need in one place. Quickly and easily take notes down while I'm trying to rush and listen to my lecture at the same time. And I have it all organized. I have everything in its own place. It's easier to find things. I just love it so much because I just feel like I'm in control of all my studies and my life. And I don't know if you can see, but I also have a YouTube and a brainstorm section. So it's not just for school. I also use it for like things outside of school as well. I will have a link down in the description for those of you who want to check out Notion as well, and I will also have the template that I use because majority of this is based off of a template that I already found, and I just edited and played around with it so that it fits my own theme and aesthetic. But I will have that down there as well, so that if you guys really like this, you can go ahead and use it as well. And yeah, I think that is it for my Notion tour. If you guys have any other like school or like Notion related questions, just drop them down in the comments below and I will be more than happy to answer them. And I think it is time for your girl to get back to work before I lose like my evening push of like motivation to get some work done. Yeah, I will see you guys soon in a new video. Mwah. Bye.